How y'all doing? This is Rob Burnham, here, Preacher Man R&B, and this is another episode of Retro Land Comments. This time I'm doing another episode of movie reviews. This time I'm reviewing Dracula Untold. And before I get into this movie review, this is probably going to be my last movie review until I get done with my off season, because I got so many so many TV shows in my off season that I review. So I'm pretty much going to be booked up Monday through Sunday through Saturday for the next at least month or two. So movie reviews will pick back up soon after I get done with my off season. But let's get into this review. We're reviewing, like I said, Dracula Untold. And what happens in this movie is he ain't called, his real name ain't Dracula, but he becomes Dracula. But the one that becomes Dracula is at war with this other country. I think it's like Persia or something maybe. And he's the Dracula is the king of Transylvania. And what happens is the king of this other country wants Dracula's son for some reason. And at first Dracula was going to give his son up, but then he decided not to and to fight back. And when he fights back, it starts this all-out war. So Dracula is trying to figure out any way he can to protect his son and protect his people. So he finds this cave, and it has, I'm guessing, the legit first vampire. And what happens is Dracula confronts this vampire and asks him to turn him like him. So what happens is this vampire makes Dracula drink his blood, and Dracula becomes Dracula. So after this, he's figuring out his powers and what that entails, and he's starting to get the bloodlust and stuff, and he's becoming more and more monster as the time goes by. And the war happens with the other country that's trying to get his son. The war breaks out, and they find out that Dracula is a vampire, and they use that to their advantage. They use the son and the weaknesses of a vampire to try to destroy Dracula. It doesn't work. Dracula's able to defeat the king of the other country, save his son, but after this, somehow or another, all the Transylvania has become vampires at this point. And they're all trying to kill Dracula and trying to eat Dracula's son, but Dracula's son and the priest are the only two that's still human. And what happens is the priest winds up getting Dracula's son out of there, and Dracula pulls back the clouds that are blocking the sun and kills all the Transylvanians that are vampires. They all disintegrate. He starts to disintegrate, but since he's technically the first vampire, he doesn't disintegrate all the way. The guy who has been kind of his right-hand man this whole movie, he drags him to the cover of darkness, feeds Dracula his blood, and Dracula awakens again. And then at the end of the movie, it jumps to present day Dracula, and he's in, looks like New York or whatever. So to see what happens that this was supposed to be the first movie of the MonsterVerse. And when I get back to reviewing movie reviews, and I'll be reviewing the mommy of the MonsterVerse as well. But if you know anything about that, you know it kind of flopped and it didn't go nowhere. But other than that, that's all that really happened. My question for y'all is, now that Dracula is alive in present day, what's going to happen with that? As always, Rob Burnham, make sure you Preacher Man R&B sign out. Guys, GG's awesome. Spin an episode of Richard Land Comments. See y'all next time.